Hi, Standard 7 pupils. I welcome you for today's lesson, science lesson. And today our topic still is water. The subtopic is effects of water pollution. Welcome. Pupils, effects of water pollution on plants. But before that, we have effects of water pollution. Water pollution has negative effects on both living and the non-living components of the environment. Pupils, the living components affected are plants and animals. Pupils, the non-living components affected are soil, rocks, and roofing materials. So number one is effects of water pollution on plants. For instance, we have oil spillage blocks the root areas of plants. Pupils, this may lead to drying up of the plants. Acid rain does not support health growth of plants. It leads to scorching, that is withering or drying of plants, and eventually making them to dry up. Pupils, water with high concentrations of farm chemicals may dry up the plants. Oil spillage blocks air and sunlight from reaching aquatic plants. Aquatic plants, pupils, these are plants that grow in water. Pupils, this makes to die due to lack of ability to perform photosynthesis. As you are all aware, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process through which plants make their own food. So, if photosynthesis is hindered, is affected, the plants are not going to survive. They are going to dry and die. Number two, we have effects of water pollution on animals. What problem is polluted water is going to cause to animals? Pupils, human and animal wastes may lead to waterborne diseases such as cholera, typhoid, bilharzia, and dysentery. Pupils, dissolved chemicals, substances in water may harm or even kill marine animals. Pupils, oil spillage blocks air from entering the water. This may suffocate and eventually kill animals that live in water. Also, oil spillage hinders aquatic birds from flying or even swimming because their feathers become slippery, rendering them unable to propel the bird to move. Number three, pupils, we want to have a look on effects of water pollution on soil. What problem the polluted water is going to have on soil? Acid rains make soils acidic, therefore making them unsuitable for cultivation, for agriculture, for production of crops. Excessive use of farm chemicals also make soils less productive. Pupils, the soil becomes loose. Oil spillage also blocks air from reaching the soil. This may in turn kill animals that live in the water. These small animals help in aeration like earthworms. Pupils, we move to ways of controlling water pollution. How can we prevent water from pollution? Practicing proper sanitation, that is cleanness, such as disposing human feces in toilets and pit latrines. Human beings are advised to use toilets and latrines to pass their waste, that is feces and urine. Protecting soil from erosion, that is eroded soil is often carried to water sources. Also preventing animals from walking or releasing their feces in water sources. Controlled dumping of industrial wastes or even treating hazardous waste to render them harmless. Controlled use of farm chemicals, clearing oil spills as soon as they occur. Pupils, we move to ways of water conservation. Harvesting rainwater, recycling water, reusing water, using water sparingly, mulching or mulching and shading, constructing dams. Pupils, I'm going to explain each of the method of conserving water. Number one, harvesting rainwater. It simply means directing rainwater to areas where it can be stored. For example, houses should be fitted with gutters that can direct rainwater into water tanks for future use. Pupils, when we talk about gutters, these are the ones which are used to collect rainwater. Then they direct them to tanks. Number two is recycling water. Recycling means using again after treatment. For example, sewage water and factory water can be recycled to make them suitable for use again. Sewage is treated in a sewage treatment plant. The plant where sewage is treated is also known as sewage farm. Pupils, water is also recycled in factories to reduce on water bills to avoid wastages. Number 3, reusing water. Reusing water means using more than once but in the same state. For example, water used to wash clothes can be used to clean bathrooms and toilets. Water used to clean vegetables can be used to water flowers. Rinsing water can be used to clean shoes or mopping the house. By doing this, a lot of water is preserved from wastage. Number 4, using water sparingly. This means avoiding water wastage. For example, repairing leaking pipes, closing taps when not in use. If you have opened the pipe for hand washing, you are done with hand washing, don't leave the water running. You close. Using drip irrigation other than overhead or sprinkle irrigation, because drip irrigation uses less water. Number 5, pupils, it is mulching and shading. In mulching, the soil is covered with dried plant materials such as grass. This prevents the rate of water loss through evaporation. Shades are mostly constructed to cover plants in nurseries or seedbeds to reduce the loss of water through evaporation. Shading also protects the seedlings from direct sunlight that make them to wither off. Number 6, constructing dams. Pupils, dams store large masses of water. The surface water is tapped and directed to large reservoirs known as dams. The reservoirs, they are meant for storing water. For example, the water used in Nairobi is stored in a place known as Ndakaini Dam. Lastly, pupils, we move to importance of conserving water. Pupils, water is one of the major components of the environment. Its existence impacts greatly on other components of the environment. For example, plants and animals depend on water directly for their survival. On the other hand, human beings also need water for various functions as stated earlier in this unit. Pupils, if water is not well conserved, the other components of the environment such as plants, animals, and soil will be affected negatively. Pupils, it is therefore very important to conserve water in its natural form, free from impurities, for good environmental coexistence. By conserving water, the following should be done. Its usefulness to other components of environment will remain on board. 2. Waterborne diseases will be controlled effectively. 3. It will be available for use in future times of scarcity. When we say about scarcity, this is when water is not enough. So if water is used properly, it is going to be available when it is insufficient. Pupils, that one brings us to the end of today's lesson. I urge you go through the lesson, you listen carefully. Where you have a question, you note it down, then you will ask it as soon as possible. Thank you for your time. I wish you a nice day. Until we meet next lesson, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.